Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai.
Well, hello everyone, and hello everyone is tuned in today for today's show of Quantum Med. I want to thank all of our listeners out here today and everyone who's actually tuned in. And so I want to take this time to thank everyone and each and every one of you. And today's topic is why everyone needs a consciousness coach and what is consciousness coaching. So normally I have a lot of guests, special appearances, that come onto the show. But a lot of my colleagues have asked me, said, Flex, can you tell the people and individuals what consciousness coaching is and why you feel that everyone needs a consciousness coach? So first of all, we're going to open up. I'm going to tell all the listeners who are out there to feel free to dial 323 524 2599. And when you do dial in, please feel free. You're able to ask, any form of questions that come to your mind that we can help you with in transition, so you can understand a little bit more, and we can help you facilitate in finding a coach, whether it's here at Quantum Med or anywhere out there in the universe, you can find you a coach. So as we begin to go in, as far as like they ask me this question, they say, you know what, Flex, what is a consciousness coach? And why does everyone need a consciousness coach? Well, first of all, we're going to go in and we're going to define what consciousness is. Okay? And then we're going to define coaching. Okay? And then that'll help everyone understand what a consciousness coach is. Okay? It's not a life coach, it's consciousness. So, what is consciousness? So, consciousness is a state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. Think about that for a minute. Ask yourself that question. Am I awake? Am I aware of not just one's, but am I aware of my surroundings? So many times that I can think about individuals, colleagues, people that I know have gone through life not awake, in a state of being that they are not in tune to reality, they're not in tune to what's happening in their life, they're not in tune to any form of control of what they're creating. They're just not conscious beings. Let's go deep here. Let's think about that even deeper. Ask yourself this question. How many conscious leaders do you see running our country to this day? How many conscious managers? How many conscious vice presidents? How many conscious CEOs? How many conscious coaches? How many conscious pastors? How many conscious spiritual leaders, teachers, nurses, nurse practitioners? Okay, how many conscious just workers, just in general, everyday people do you come around who you encounter in your universe that you could see that their state of being is awake and they are aware of their surroundings? Very interesting question to ask yourself, and an interesting question to ask others. That is the definition of consciousness. Now, Coaching. Coaching is a form of development. Okay. And in that form, okay, of development, it is a form of development that one can depend on an expert, okay, who has what we call is more knowledge, okay, more wisdom, right? Okay, than you do, right? So a coach is someone who has achieved, you know, has an achieving a specific personal and professional goal and is providing you with training and guidance. Okay. Now, when we focus on that, right? Training and guidance. Okay. So let's talk about those two verticals. Training. When you work out, you're getting training. You have a trainer. Some of you train yourselves. When you have a new job, you get new job training. Okay. You're trained. Okay. When you are asking for advice, you're getting guidance. When you're asking for mentorship, you're getting guidance. Training. Training and guidance. It's coaching. Okay. And it's sometimes also even called the coachee, right? Okay. So in this coaching is a process, right? It's a process of learning. It's a process of development. Okay. And with this development and this coaching, through training, you are able to improve. You are able to improve socially. You are able to improve athletically. You are able to improve financially, professionally, in any other areas when it comes to relationships. You're able to improve in these areas. Now, these are all key fundamental areas of consciousness: social consciousness, athletic consciousness, financial consciousness, professionalism consciousness. All these are all forms of training where you're actually going to improve, right? So when seeking guidance, okay, from a coach needs to be able to touch base on all these variables. They need to touch on your social skills and being able to impact you socially, your professionalism. Okay. They can coach you in fitness, your financial goals, career goals, all these different goals they are able to do, right? Okay. And they're helping you, with this and this development so that you are not able to just experience training to improve in these areas, but also guidance. The guidance, okay, is getting you in the right direction, the steps, teaching you the process to get from A to Z. How to become a winner. Defining what a winner is. Defining a winning approach. Defining solution. Guidance leads to results. Training leads to results. Consciousness leads to results. So every one of these are focused, and they're focusing on improving, getting the training to improve in whatever aspect of your life that you want to improve in, getting the proper guidance to improve, and then understanding the state of being awake and high consciousness to generate the results that you want to have. This is consciousness coaching. So consciousness coaching consists of the state of being of awake in a form of development, so you're actually able to experience and get the proper guidance and training to improve and touch base on a variety of different things that you're looking to have coaching on, right? As an example, at Quantum Med, we do business coaching, we also do humanitarian and transformation. Transformation coaching consists of a lot of the different followings, whether you're doing training and guidance and, socially, athletically, financially, professionally, whatever it might be. But in essence, this is consciousness coaching. Why does everybody need a coach? Ask yourself this question. Do you have an ego? If you have an ego, you need a coach. What does that coach do? That coach helps you banish your ego. Now, if that coach does not help you banish your ego, you might need a new coach. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to lead. Not only are you trying to lead, but you're leading in the spirit, okay? And you're getting wisdom, you're getting consciousness training, development coaching, whether it's business, humanitarian, transformation coaching, but you're depending on that consciousness coach to give you the wisdom, the knowledge based off of their experiences in real world, experiences in coaching others, to improve on whatever that core competency or whatever it is that you want to improve in, right? So if you think of the greatest athletes of the world, if you think of like the Kobe Bryants of the world, you think of, the Michael Jordans of the world, you think of, great NFL players, great individual CEOs, great executives, okay? All of these individuals had a coach. It took a coach to win an NBA championship. It took a coach to win a Super Bowl. It took a coach to win the Wimbledon. It took a coach to win a PGA tournament. It takes a coach to do all these great things. So imagine LeBron James has a coach and they win an NBA championship. The Bulls had Phil Jackson. Vince Lombardi. All these great coaches have been around for years and have provided guidance, training, and development to improve one's performance so they could win championships. This is one of the reasons why everyone needs a coach. You can't play in the NBA without a coach. You can't play in the NFL without a coach. So what makes you think that you can play the game of life without a coach? Ask yourself that question. All the great coaches in the world, they had a coach. There's always someone, somebody, somewhere, somehow is giving you some form of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So because you're always getting this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, how could you not ever be out every day seeking and talking about who is your coach? Because that coach is getting you to this next direction in your life, the next thing that you want to be able to accomplish in your life. They're helping you come into your creative state of awakening, which we call consciousness, right? So, consciousness coaching. Consciousness coaching is a state of being awake. The understanding of gaining knowledge and wisdom so you can transform your life and come into the abundance and receive the infinite, which the universe is so infinite, so that you can continuously advance in your spiritual journey in life, so you're able to handle and deal with any form of situations, any difficult tasks that you're looking in front of, whether it be work related, whether it be personal, whether it be overcoming addictions, whether it be overcoming a bad relationship that's toxic, whether it be overcoming financial problems, anything. There's a coach for everything. How do you find that coach? Some of you have a coach right at home. Some of you are blessed with a mother and father to give you wisdom. Some of you aren't. Some of you seek it from outside, in the streets, school systems, teachers, someone that believes in you. Believe in me, as what a lot of people say. Do you believe in me? And do you believe in yourself? Believing in self and having confidence and understanding that you need to be more awake and more conscious. You need a coach. You need to seek a coach. Where do I find this coach? Quantum Med is a place where you can find that coach. It's a place where you can find individuals that not only love and care about you, but are here to give you wisdom, knowledge, understanding, training, abundance, wisdom, and not only wisdom and knowledge, but also guidance. in all aspects of your life so that you can make that transformation to a higher consciousness and develop that Christ-like consciousness that you've been blessed with. The unique things about consciousness is that when we all came into this existence as pilot lights, we developed a form of a consciousness. We've had subconscious thoughts and subconscious things that have affected our consciousness. We've been programmed by matter-based systems, matter-based laws, things that really don't matter. And we've allowed these things to shift our consciousness to think that we don't need a coach. So when you say that you don't need a coach, who do you think is saying that? Do you actually think that's you? Or do you think it's your ego? Well, let me help you. It's your ego. Your ego is speaking on your behalf. Now, who wants their ego to speak on their behalf? I know not me. I don't. You know, I don't want anything to do with ego. I don't even understand ego. It's a universal language. It just doesn't comprehend into my subconsciousness or my conscious state. So, in understanding that, as I'm speaking, to you all about consciousness coaching and why everyone needs a coach. You are all champions. You are all masters. One of my great coaches told me that a master never chases an illusion. That came to me in a text message. When I read that text message, I processed what my coach said to me. And I was like, you're absolutely right. A master never chases an illusion. A master only seeks truth. And because a master only seeks truth, you're all masters. You're all masters of your own universe. You all have this great ability to tap in to consciousness and to create a higher consciousness. And you all have this ability. Now you ask yourself this question. How do I tap into this higher state of consciousness? Who is going to help me facilitate to understand what that means? That's when you go out and you seek a consciousness coach. I'm going to share something with you that I share with a lot of my clients. Be soft. Do not let the world make you hard. Do not let pain make you hate. Do not let bitterness steal your sweetness. Think about that for a minute. You've always been taught that being soft isn't good. But in actuality, that's not true. See, the world of matter has programmed your consciousness to believe that being soft is wrong. Is it? No, absolutely not. Being soft. Do not let the world make you hard. Okay? How did soft become bad and hard became good? Because they programmed you and they tricked you. to let you think that hard was good and soft was bad. And then that shifted and altered your ego. And as we know, ego and spirit don't know each other. That's why relationships fail. Because one is in ego and the other is in spirit. But when you both come at a place of spirit, of love, that frequency, you understand each other. It's a lot of people out who experience what they say is they have pain. So with the pain turned that individual into something that they're not. Because you are light and light overcomes dark, you let pain make you hate. Hatred is ego. Do not allow bitterness to steal your light, your sweetness. Don't let it happen. So many people allow that and they let that happen. So when we go back to conscious and consciousness and what it is, and I told you that a master has no interest in chasing illusion, but a master observes. Like a good student. He sets intention and emits the frequency of attraction. So think about that for a minute. You are admitting, okay, the frequency of attraction. They call it the law of attraction, right? So you're a master, you're observing, and then all of a sudden you're setting your intention. Okay? And then you emits the frequency of the attraction. So you're bringing this into your universe, right? So how do we do this? Oh, wow, I'm bringing this into my universe. I'm admitting I'm a master, but, I don't really want to chase this illusion. But, I do want to observe this energy around me, or this energy vortex that I'm dealing with, or this person and their energy that is coming at me at a very powerful or strong force, whether it's reactive or in ego or in spirit. So when ego comes at you, ask yourself this question. Do I have to respond to ego? And the answer is no. You don't have to respond to ego. When ego comes to you, look at it. You ever heard that expression when you're dancing? Wait for it. It's the same thing. When the ego comes at you, look at it. Take a step back, watch the energy to go by you, just stop it in its tracks, and then come back and wrap that ego up in light and send it back the other way. We call that the art of communication, in spirit and not ego. That's what we call that. So, understanding what all this means, understanding some of the key components of why it's important for you to have a consciousness coach. So, consciousness coaching, as we stated earlier, is a state of being awake. And it's your form of development in your, with an experienced person, right? That can give you training and give you guidance. Now, if you observe your coach or someone that you might work for, and you don't see them as very conscious or possessing consciousness, that's not your right coach. That's not the person who needs to be coaching you. If you go to a doctor and the doctor is telling you something energetically that you don't believe or have faith in, intuitively just don't feel the align with the energy, You don't have to force your hand to move forward with that individual. Ask the universe and wait for it. And then when you wait for it, you're actually able to move forward in a positive light, positive reinforcements, higher consciousness, an awakening to truth, the understanding of consciousness coaching, the importance of having a coach. Why everyone needs a coach is because I want everyone to win. I want everyone to win out here. There's some of you are sitting at home who are begging for a coach. I can hear you, but you're not alone. We're here, 323-524-2599. Anytime, call in during the show and ask about having a conscience coach and can I afford to have a conscience coach? Well, the answer is yes. Everyone who does coaching or a form of conscious coaching, the price structure can range. It could range from $250 a session to $500 a session to $100 a session. It just depends. It depends on who you have or who you select naturally to be your coach. What I'll share with you is that in my spiritual growth and my development into becoming an entrepreneur, my coach was my dad. But I had an ego, so I didn't listen to my dad all the time. But my dad was right. See, even some of the lessons that he taught me today or a long time ago are so much relevant right now in my life because he was just trying to give me a jump start. But my ego was in the way of listening, which most people are. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear the fact that you need a coach. You see that as being, not, soft, and soft isn't good in your mind. So we have to, change that. Well, guess what? Having a coach is a great thing. Okay. Having a conscious coach, a team, a leader that can help and push you, to motivate you, to encourage you, to uplift you is what you need. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a conscious coach. Everybody has a need. Everyone. So in today's show, naturally, we were highlighting on why everyone needs a conscious coach. I think I've just touched base on why everyone does need a consciousness coach, because it's going to help you with all these areas of training, development, wisdom, guidance. It's going to empower you. It's going to uplift you. It's going to push you. And it's going to get you to reach whatever goals that you might have set out in front of you. So in sharing with each and every one of you, I would tell you, get you a conscious coach. Help yourself with business, whether it's humanitarian, no matter what it is, get yourself a coach. And watch the results. Watch the transformation. Watch the abundance. Watch the things move in your life. Watch how you move through relationships. Watch how you move through life. Watch how you move through this universe with a great coach. Win a championship with a coach. Win with a coach. Everybody needs to win with a coach. Get a coach. That's my advice to everyone. Find you a coach, conscious coach, pay them. They'll have more value to you than your personal trainer. A lot of people have personal trainers because they need that push. They need more knowledge. They need more wisdom. They need a little bit more expertise in that realm, or the accountability, whatever it is they might be experiencing. They go and they get themselves a trainer. Now, all this is very interesting stuff. Like I told a buddy of mine who played professional football, and he had a coach, but him and his coach weren't seeing eye to eye because the coach wasn't conscious. He was coaching him in ego, so he really couldn't understand. He was having a hard time performing, and he needed advice of how can I perform in this environment and maneuver myself around so that I could tap in to have success and to still keep my morals and principles and integrity of consciousness, and to be able to add value and impact so all my other team members can see what's happening and maneuver around what I'm having to deal with. So I gave him advice. I told him, different proactive solutions of how to deal with the energy, but not necessarily responding to the energy, but focusing on himself and his strengths and what he's great at, okay, and improving on his skills and enhancing his skills, understanding knowledge, playbook, and everything else, that it became edible, that the coach noticed the transformation in him because he put all that energy, that negative energy that was coming towards him, he surrounded it in light. He put it in a bubble. He threw it as far as he could into the universe. And then he tapped into his inner consciousness, his inner strength and spiritual realm that he had within as he connected and meditated, okay, to source, to get his download, to get his guidance on what he needed to do to move forward, to excel in this league and in this environment, whether for him to manifest another team, another coach. He's able to do that because he creates his own universe. So guess what he did, guys? He meditated. He went to the drawing board. He meditated day and night. He tapped in, and then he got an answer. He got a beautiful answer. He got traded to a team with a high conscious coach that valued his work, his hard effort. He got a greater paying salary. And now he's excelling in a new environment that is conducive for him. So these are the things, okay, that are just not only extremely important to understand, but for all of our listeners out there to see the value that a coach can bring to you. So we just witnessed how a conscious coach wasn't conscious and wasn't bringing value, but he was actually tearing down and not building up, not empowering. Okay, the energy was going in the wrong direction. So when that energy goes in the wrong direction, you shift that energy, you control your own universe, you find you the right coach, you get with the right team, you move forward, and you keep doing you. Hear what I'm saying to you guys. You keep doing you. Don't stop. Don't stop doing the things that make you tick. Don't stop. Get a consciousness coach. Get a coach in your life. Whether it's business, personal, professional, get a consciousness coach in your life today. For you guys who are listening, who have life coaches, some of your life coaches aren't conscious. I hate to tell you that, but it is truth. So you need to be able to understand that just because you have somebody, okay, and they're not conscious, that's something, you need to be able to understand and be able to see. Because when you are conscious, what is consciousness? Consciousness is the awakening and being awake. Does that make sense? And I'm sure it does. So for all my listeners who are out there, and I thank each and every one of you who understand that I did this with a coach. I didn't do this alone. I didn't build Quantum Med without a coach. I didn't play football without a coach. I didn't wrestle without a coach. I didn't go through life without a coach. Your parents are your coaches. And because of the fact that your parents are your coaches, listen to them. They have some wisdom. They have knowledge. They might not all be conscious, but you still got to listen to them because that's who you chose to come into this existence. You chose them as your parents as pilot lights. Now that you know that you've chosen them, now it's time for you to create. It's time for you to tap in. And find that consciousness coach. Now, some of you have had consciousness coaches and they've abused their powers or they've manipulated, okay, and have taken advantage of their abilities to coach. And you in that energy realm have to be able to see that and you control it so you can separate yourself from that and find you somebody else and find you another coach. But it's up to you. So when I was asked to define leadership by a bunch of executives and defining what leadership was to them, and how many of their leaders did they feel were extremely conscious? That's a good question, right? And then maybe even a better question is that when people talk, what is leadership, right? So when I ask these leaders in leadership, which is like an action of leading a group of people or an organization, that's leadership. Okay? Now, there's different styles of leadership, whether it's direction, an authority figure, or guidance. But leadership is what we depend on to lead this country, organizations, okay? And sometimes it's time for a change of leadership, change of coaching. Give you a sample of that. So back to what I was telling you about the executives, CEOs that I was speaking to about leadership. And I said, how many of your leaders are conscious? They didn't know that answer. And one of the reasons why they didn't know that answer is because some of them were not awake themselves. And they said, I don't know if I am actually awake and aware of who in my organization is conscious and possesses conscious-minded leadership skills and capabilities. So that speaks volumes because they acknowledge that they were not being awake themselves. And then not being aware of some of their leaders, whether or not they were leading with conscious-minded leadership strategies, development, training, guidance, Were they providing all this stuff? So they made the determination that they needed to go through a program themselves so that they become higher consciousness CEOs and executives, that they can have this rolled out throughout their organizations so that every one of them are providing wisdom, knowledge, guidance, understanding, but becoming awake and aware, not just of their own, but their employees and their leaders, so that they can increase their net profits, they can increase their productivity, they can increase happiness amongst the masses. How huge is that? Having conscious minded leaders. Just visualize if we have conscious minded leaders leading our country without ego. It's amazing. So, what I'd like to do is open up take this time, open up for any questions. And anyone who was calling in that might have any questions, you can call 323-524-2599. You can also call Quantum Med at 561-270-2127 to speak to one of our conscious coaches and see how we can help you form that development in which you need the experience and training and guidance to excel your path of being not just awake and in tune to your surroundings, but also understanding the process, the how. Okay? Not just the system of being awake, but understanding the process to move through it and to move through that energy vortex of that proactive energy or reactive energy that you're dealing with, no matter where it is. Consciousness coaching. Why we all need consciousness coaches and the value behind it. I'm sending nothing but infinite blessings and manifestations to all of each and every one of you guys who are out here listening today. Who don't have a coach or want a coach, may you get one. And may you all continuously win to have extreme amount of success no matter what you want to accomplish. And may life bring you this abundance that you truly seek. And may you guys continuously be blessed. At this particular time, since we don't have any callers calling in right now, I want to, get ready to close out today's podcast. I want to thank, each and every one of you for tuning in to, what is consciousness coaching and why you need a conscious coach. And so I wish you all nothing but the best, and may you all get a consciousness coach and select whether it's somebody from Quantum Med or someone, but may you guys continuously all have the abundance and be the masters that you are of your own universe. Tap into your inner, most infinite being of self-awareness and knowledge and wisdom, and may you pass that on as well. And may you, who all need coaches, are coaches, because there's somebody that you're giving advice to as well. So coach somebody, get a coach, be a coach, love a coach, love yourself, and love everything about what you do. And may God bless you all. I want to take this time to thank everyone for coming out and listening to today's show. Next Friday, we have a couple phenomenal guests. We're going to have Stephen Green. Stephen's a former vice president of Warner Brothers. I'm going to bring in some of my high-profile celebrities that I've coached over the years, who've won Emmys, etc., and let you hear, some testimonies in their journey of the benefits of having a consciousness coach and how it's, helped them in their transformation in life. So at this time, I want to thank you all. Thank you for tuning in to Quantum Med, and have an amazing day, an amazing night, amazing weekend, as I know we're getting ready for a week of St. Patty's Day preparation. Be safe out there. Don't drink. Only H2O, agua, Keegan water. But God bless you all and have a great day. And we'll see you next Friday. Ciao.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu